Good morning to you. It is Tuesday, November the 19th. I'm Todd Duplantis, and we're live at the HCCTV studios with up to the minute all your HCC news and information for the next half hour. You must be excited. You were here early, ready to go,
I'm always
on
excited.
time.
When I wake up, I'm always excited.
You're always
It's another
excited.
day on this earth.
Yeah, and it's a Tuesday. You normally host on Tuesdays, but you're doing a lot of filling in around
Oh yeah, I have. I
lately.
mean, it's Benji's show here.
It is.
So.
Yeah, Benji 24/7 and HCCTV. Stay tuned for that. We'll tell you how you can find that. But we want to thank everyone for watching us this morning on Facebook Live and YouTube. We're here Mondays through Fridays, most Mondays through Fridays when HCC is in session. And they can also catch us, Benji, on social media.
Yes.
And on our channel.
Yeah, we're live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page, not HCC, but Houston Community College District. We're also on YouTube, X, LinkedIn, and on HCCTV, our own TV channel, where you can catch a rebroadcast of this show at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
So, it's Tasty Tuesday.
Yeah.
And you ever been to Brennan's here in downtown?
I haven't yet.
You haven't?
It's one of my plans. I know it's a very iconic restaurant.
It's iconic. It's great. The original, I believe, is in New Orleans, and been to that. Been to the one here, but it was like literally, it was a little over a year and a half ago. So ready to go back again. And we've got a guest from Brennan's joining us right now. Of course, we've got Alex Brennan-Martin, and he is proprietor of Brennan's of Houston and our Tasty Tuesday guest. Alex, great to have you with us on the show. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to hearing about Brennan's. You got some shaking things up, got some different things going on over there, and some
we're
closing and reopening plans.
It always seems to be busy these days. So it's not just a job; it's an adventure.
It's an adventure. Well, we want to hear all about it. Holiday season is here, so we'll give you some tips for that as well. But Benji will be with you in about 10 minutes, so stick around.
Very good.
All right, we're going to kick things off. We're continuing our celebration of Native American Heritage Month with an HCC guest to remind us why it's always so important. Sheryl Ballard is an HCC history professor with a Native American focus. Good to see you on the show, Sheryl. Welcome back again.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. Now, it is Native American Month, and it's important to learn about Native Americans. We know they're our ancestors, but looking at the maps you provided this morning, it's clear that they've covered the entire nation, of course.
Yes, actually, every step that we take is on former Native land or still Native land. And that is why I focus my classes on natives, because they were the original inhabitants of where we are now. So.
Right. And of course, I know Galveston, Houston area were home, I believe at the time, to the Karankawa tribe, along with others as well. You know what I've always found fascinating? It's not in the script, but maybe you can cover the comment on this. I know in the parts of the Southeast and even through the Midwest, there are mounds. And the theory is they were created by Native Americans, and they become part of our landscape. And and they've even been studied. Some of them are in the shape of animals or serpents or things like that. Is that just native to our area or certain areas of the country?
The mounds are in the Southeast, but also up through Ohio.
Right.
And there are, you mentioned the pictures you can see from the air that are huge.
Right.
Those go all the way down into Central and South America.
It's just amazing because, these were taken as just topography of the area. And it wasn't, I guess, until years later when we discovered really what they were.
Yes, because we couldn't fly over and see them. But the natives who built them apparently knew what they were doing and that they were creating this artwork and, either doing it for deities or for harvest reasons, trying to get rain or trying to get their harvest to do well.
Right. And it's just amazing when you see these things from the air as they've been studied. Now, of course, you can't talk about the original Americans without discussing, of course, Christopher Columbus, which over the last several decades has become more of is perceived quite differently now as of then. Give us a brief rundown of his history.
Well, Columbus at the time when he was alive was much like more like the other explorers, very, arrogant young man who wanted to find a route to Asia. And until his death, he thought he had found that. Unfortunately, he was very, very wrong. And because of that, when he came over, he never landed on North America. He landed on the islands in the Caribbean.
Right.
And never set foot on America. He was also very brutal, and that is how he controlled the native population. And his one really good thing he did was to take lots of notes. He kept a diary, he did maps, and that's how he was able to get the Crown to keep funding his explorations, even though he didn't find what he thought he was going to find. And you mentioned that his reputation has changed a lot over the years. It's interesting that still in elementary schools and even through high school, he is still touted as a wonderful man and a great explorer, even though he was lost most of the time.
Right.
So,
Well, he left some history for all of us, I guess, and Matt, like you said, the maps and the diaries and things that we could learn from.
yeah.
We had you on the show last year right around Indigenous Peoples Day, and National Geographic was doing a special about Turtle Island. Tell us a bit about that, because I know that is something that you have some knowledge of.
Well, Turtle Island is what many native tribes or native peoples call the Americas, or even just Earth. And it's part of the oral tradition that the back of the turtle is our land, and that it floats in space, which if you look at the water, we kind of float on that, and that it would be an eternal place of peace. Haven't quite gotten that part down yet, but I think as long as humans are around, we might have some disagreements and
Yeah.
stuff. But the National Geographic film Turtle Island is absolutely amazing.
And I imagine you can Google that if it's out there. In fact, we're going to have some links on information that we're talking about in our social media post after the show. Native American Heritage Month. How did this get designated, and how is HCC supporting this?
Well, it wasn't until 1968 that former President Reagan, who was governor of California at the time, signed a resolution calling for a holiday for American Indian Day. And that was going to be the fourth Friday in September. And then later in 86, when he was president, he designated American Indian Week as November 23rd through 30th. And then 4 years later, in 1990, President Bush declared the entire month of November as Native American. Actually, at the time, it was National American Indian Heritage Month. And the name has kind of gotten changed over the years to make it a little more easy to deal with. It's still a lot to say, a little cumbersome.
Now, as far as HCC supporting this, I know we have a number of events happening across the district this month as well, correct?
Yeah, we have our own events, and then we have events that we are encouraging our students to go to. One was a couple weekends ago, Traders Village had their annual powwow, and that's always a good one for Houstonians who are trying to see natives in action, because they do dance contests and contests for their what am I trying to say? Their cultural clothing and things.
Right.
You can also enjoy Indian tacos, and you can see the instruments and things like that. We also have a number of classes at HCC that either touch on Native topics or focus on Natives, including the History 1301 and 1302 survey courses, and Humanities has a course on minorities that touches on Natives, and Anthropology also touches on Natives. So there's a lot out there.
A lot out there, but you have to go look for it. You know, we want to make sure you get the right courses so you can get the education that you need. Sheryl Ballard is our HCC professor with the Native America focus. We appreciate you joining us again on the show, and thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you. You guys have a great morning.
All right, you too. Okay, we're going to take a short break. Are you getting hungry? How about a 25-cent martini? Now, it really does happen. It's a thing. Benji's going to be talking with our Tasty Tuesday guest very shortly about that. We'll be back with more of the program in 60 seconds.
At Houston Community College, we make your lessons matter. Open the door to real-world education, where passions become careers. Find out more at hccs.edu. and let your success take flight.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars. Really tall. I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands? Yes. You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
We are back on Up to the Minute, and now we are back with our Tasty Tuesday guest, Alex Brennan-Martin, proprietor of Brennan's of Houston. Welcome back to the show, Alex.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes. Let's start off with, Brennan's is a Houston institution. I know this myself. I haven't been yet, but I know this already about the city. And
Well, we've only been here since 1967, so
Right.
No big rush.
Yeah, I'm a 99 kid, so I guess I've had some time to go, but I'm going to get around to it.
Now you're getting it.
And I know I want to get onto the holiday topics to discuss. And can you just give us a brief history? 1960s.
Yeah. Well, my family started in the bar business, actually, on Bourbon Street, the old original Absinthe House, which is still there. We don't own it. And in 1945, and my grandfather and my eldest uncle, and then moved across the street. The restaurant on Bourbon Street became available, and that's where the first Brennan's was. We actually have a very cool picture of that in our bar, with literally a streetcar named Desire. Old cars. It's a cool picture. At any rate, that restaurant moved to where it is on Royal Street in 1955, and some years later they started looking for a location. And believe it or not, the building that we're in here in Houston was built in the 1920s by Mr. John Staub, who famous for Bayou Bend Museum for Miss Imahog. And he designed this building after the building my family had moved into, but that was some 30 years before my family moved. So we got here, we found this wonderful old building we've been taking care of since, and it's been our home, and enjoy it.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And I know, being in the restaurant business, next week is good. There's a big day, really. You're ready to help ease the load. So tell us about that. Thanksgiving to go.
Yeah. Well, Thanksgiving is one of our biggest days of the year. About 1,200 of our best friends will come through the restaurant, but we also do a Thanksgiving to go. We don't do the turkey because, turkey's best when it comes right out of the oven. You guys can handle that. It's just not that big a deal, but we've always done, sides, things like our sweet potatoes that we do that are, go back to the old family recipe, our turtle soup, gumbo. We do one of our most requested items is our braised collard greens, which is just when I was growing up, was something that the cooks would make for themselves, and customers in the know would ask for it. But it's on the menu here. One of our most requested items. We do an awful lot of our mac and cheese is kind of one of those things that I never would believe people would come to Brennan's and buy mac and cheese. Well, it's one of our best sellers, and that'll be there. Oyster dressing is really a Louisiana thing. I say it's almost a meal unto itself, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It's fresh Gulf oysters with the holy trinity of celery, onion, bell pepper, and we obviously with the French bread seasoning, and it's one of our most requested items, and you'd be amazed how much we sell to go. So yeah, pecan pies. We have our lemon meringue pies named after my wife Robin. Our bread pudding, which is one of the favorites, and a number of other things that people have requested over the years.
No, I mean, I bet this is great because I know here in Houston, there's a lot of folks that come from Louisiana. And so I feel like they find that this is like the home cooking. They find like an ease to it because they don't have to cook for it. They just get it at your restaurant, right?
Well, I always say that traffic for an LSU Tiger game starts at 610 East on I-10. It is. There is. I think they just misdrew the line when doing the state thing, and
right.
It should have been maybe, the Columbus River or something. I consider us, Louisiana X, right?
Yeah. It extends into here. And I want to also get into the topic of, you're right there. You have a great location. And I know there's a few restaurants in the area that do like theater shuttle services. And I know, you're one of them, right? I mean,
we started this, a number of years ago, just as sort of a favor to some of our ladies that love to go to the ballet, and their husbands wouldn't go with them. And our valet started sort of running them down either in my car or using their car or something. And it just kind of grew from there. And, no great business plan, just sort of as a favor to our guests. And it's really wildly popular, especially this time of the year with all the holiday shows and families. Sort of one less thing to, have your car remote, relax, enjoy a meal, get dropped off at the front door of the theater, and not have to do it. So, it's a fan favorite, and we keep on doing it.
So now I'm interested because I do have a play that I'm going to go see at the Hobby Center in January. So is this year long, or is this just during the holidays?
No, it's year round. So long as there's something going on in the theaters, we're doing it. Perfect. And we have limited seating according to the number of seats we have on our bus. So first call, first reserved. It's not something you can just walk in and hey, if we have an extra spot, we'll get you on it. But usually, especially this time of year, sells out far in advance.
No, I bet, especially with the Nutcracker going on downtown and all the other stuff. I mean, that's
Nutcracker, Christmas Carol, and usually some great shows, at Hobby.
Yeah, and I'm glad we caught you at this fun time of year because, we have a lot of good times and good events coming up, and including some 25-cent martini lunches. That could be dangerous for us here at HCC because you're just down the block, really. So tell us about that.
This is something my family started, I am told, like in the 60s.
Okay.
and it was just sort of a promotion at the restaurant on Royal Street, and it exploded. At the time, the federal courthouse was right across the street from Brennan's, and I really, the origins of it beyond that, I don't really know, but we're very, very stubborn people, the Brennans are, and so we are we've been continuing this tradition on all these years later. Limit to, you've got to order lunch. It's you don't walk in off the street and go to the bar and get two, but
25-cent martinis, right?
two. That's right.
And then I mean, you got so much going on over there. So can you tell us what's coming up in December? Maybe anything that's going on over there?
Yeah, there's some fun things. We have something called our Spirit Roundtable, which is something our bartender, a longtime bartender who passed away a few years, Richard Middleton, started, just inviting friends in to teach them about some different things than just ordering a glass of wine or or maybe an old fashioned. Nothing wrong with a good old fashioned. But so we have what we call our Spirit Roundtable, and this year is upcoming this month on the 22nd is doing a wild turkey with poor. Everybody thinks of wild turkey as sort of the standard you get, but they have many different offerings. So we'll be going through a tasting of all those, and that's in on the 22nd of the month. Everybody's got a brother-in-law. My brother-in-law, who is a well-known builder here in Houston, Chris Sims, is in a band, believe it or not. And and they're the PF and the Flyers, and they play a lot of for years. It's a bunch of doctors and lawyers and oil guys and whatnot, all reliving their youth of being youthful dream. They did and they played around town, and we had them in actually a few months ago, and they're coming back right before Christmas. Excuse me. No, right on the 24th, right before Thanksgiving. Pardon me. It's Sunday night. Dinner and a show. Go to our website. Details are there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Alex Brennan-Martin. He's the proprietor of Brennan's of Houston and our Tasty Tuesday guest, and we'll have all of that info on our post after the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Of course. All right, and coming up next, we have a quick commercial break, but Todd and I will return with some news and announcements, so stay tuned.
At Houston Community College, we make your lessons matter. Open the door to real-world education, where passions become careers. Find out more at hccs.edu and let your success take flight.
That one day at PE when they were like yelling at me, and then you just linked arms with me. I don't think you know how much like that helped me. I finally like knew that I had somebody.
We're back on Up to the Minute. A few things happening across the district. One of them happening tomorrow. HCC is hosting a Navy ROTC and NTAG education seminar tomorrow at HCC's Northeast College. Registration opens at 5:30 p.m. and snacks will be available. That's right, snacks available 5:30 to 8 p.m. Wednesday, November the 20th at the North Line campus. At that campus. Check it out. Our post after the show will have more information on this. And Wonderful Wednesdays continues.
Yes, students in the market for a job can meet employers hiring for part and full-time positions every Wednesday. This helps them explore prospects and discover new career pathways. This will take place, like we said, Wednesday, November 20th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Then you have which is called the Gratitude and Growth Discover Your Career Path at the HCC Eastside Student Life Building. So check out our post after the show for more info.
We also have a student choreography showcased. Everyone's invited to the student-produced and student choreographed dance concert that wraps up the fall semester. 7:30 p.m. Wednesday, November 20th. That's tomorrow as well at HCC Central College's or Central Campus's Heinen Theater. Program is free. Check our post after the show and you can learn all about it. And our virtual studio gallery is going on.
Yeah, I mean, how cool is this? You could visit a gallery, but it's virtual and just from the comfort of your own home. So it's time again for HCC's online studio student exhibition held in spatial.ao spaces. It features student works from all campuses, and awards will be given in design, foundations of art, drawing, graphic design, and digital media. The exhibition will be taking place through December 6th, and the artist reception and awards will take place on December 6th, that's a Friday, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. The exhibition view link is online, so check out our post after the show for that link.
So we've got spring registration is underway right now. That's right. Spring 2025 registration underway. A variety of course options are available. 2 of them completely online, 2 of them are hybrid, a little bit online and in person. And of course, strictly in-person classes. Go to classes at our campuses, old school style. hccs.edu/apply is the website to register today. So tomorrow we continue celebrating Native American Heritage Month with several guests lined up. And we've got a lot of big name guests this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who are those?
Yeah. Big names.
Oh, big name.
Big name guests. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, you'll want to be, we'll reveal them as they are announced.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah. I figured, who knows? He may make an appearance later this week too. Are you here later this week?
No, I'm not.
You say so now. You just don't know yet, do you? All types of things happen. It is flu season, so make sure you get take care of yourself for that. So we're going to wrap up today's show. Thanks for joining us on this Tasty Tuesday. I'm Todd Duplantis, and here with
Benjamin Escobar, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. Remember the name. Okay. We'll see you tomorrow live at 10 a.m.